Hi students, and welcome to Biology 130. This is an exciting and weird time because of COVID. I've never taught this class this way before. I've taught this class lots of times, but never like this. So this will be interesting. I have adopted a hybrid course, but kind of the real hybrid course. So this is not the course where you're going to sometimes watch lecture on Zoom and sometimes attend lecture. This is a course that's truly hybrid in that half of the material is delivered to you face-to-face and half of the material is delivered to you online. And so that means I've painstakingly made activities for you online to help supplement what we're doing in class. So I'm going to just briefly run through the structure of this course. I'm going to do this the first day we meet, but I figured I better put it online in case people miss that first day of class. This was my salamander Lassiter. Okay. So I'm just going to go through all of the different sections because this video is for everybody. And so section 6 and 7, all the classes look the same, but each section is shifted slightly, so you'll see why. And so all the classes, there are 4 components to this class. Number 1, you will go to lab in person with a TA who loves you and wants you to succeed. And you guys will social distance and clean lots of equipment, but you'll be able to do all the lab activities. And so that's in person for sections 6 and 7. Your labs are Monday and Tuesday. Every lab will start in the first 10 minutes of class with a quiz. They'll go through this in lab, so you'll get more details on this. And then at the end of the lab, there'll be a homework assignment that hopefully you have time to finish while you're in lab. If not, you'll finish it at home. And then every class has pre-class explore activities on Canvas, and I'll show you where these are. These are on Canvas. They're structured as quizzes, which just means that it'll walk you through each question at a time, but you can take them as many times as you need to get them complete. They're available starting the Monday of each week in this particular section, and they're due by your lecture on Wednesday. So these 2 sections, section 6 and 7, are coming to lecture on Wednesday. So that's the 3rd component of the class. In class time, we will meet in person. We will be social distancing and wearing masks, and we will be trying to clarify what you learned in lab and the pre-class activities, and sort of start to apply it to new situations. And then once you go home, you will have the rest of the week to do the 4th component of the class, which is your post-class apply activities. Same thing as the pre-class. They're on Canvas. They're a bunch of quizzes. They're available until Monday at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so that's section 6 and 7. Section 8 and 9 is the same, except your lecture day is Friday. So you will spend Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday going to lab and preparing or completing the pre-class exploration activities. You'll come to lecture on Friday, and then you'll have Monday and Tuesday to do your post-class application activities. And then sections 10 and 13, you guys attend lab on Monday. So you'll actually spend the latter half of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, doing your pre-stuff. Come to lecture on Monday, and then have Tuesday and Wednesday to do your post-class apply. So everybody's going to get the same experience as everybody else. Everybody will have the same activities. It's just staggered so that we can meet with you in smaller groups for lecture time. All right. So basically the structure of this class, this is a crazy slide, I'm realizing, but we use the 5E learning cycle. So these are your 5 E's. Engage is to get your attention. Explore, where you discover the information for yourselves. Explain, where the information becomes more clear to you and I explain concepts. Elaborate is where you apply the information to a novel situation. Research has shown that if you don't apply it outside the context you learned it, it's unlikely that you will be able to apply it that way. And then evaluate, where you're testing yourself on the information. So where does that take place? This is a loose assignment of these, but in your lab and pre-class activities, you're going to be engaging and exploring in the material. In class time, we'll make sure you've got all the explanations down. In your post-class activities, you will be elaborating, so applying it to new situations, and then you are evaluated in the following 3 ways. So lab quizzes that happen at the beginning of each lab each week, unit exams, there are 3 of them, and then the final exam. So again, sorry, crazy slide, but that's how the class works. Grade breakdown, your lab is worth 30% of your grade. That includes the lab homeworks and lab quizzes. Your inner fish, and lab quizzes, yeah, okay. Your inner fish, that is the book review that you're going to do, and that will include some blog posts and peer reviews and a final paper. We'll talk about it more in class. The Canvas activities that you do prior to lecture and after lecture are worth 30% of your grade. And then the exams, 1, 2, 3, and the final are equally weighted and they're worth 30% of your grade. Now notice in green I've got these Life Happens drops. So you can drop a blog post and you can drop five pre-class and 5 post-class activities. So if you just are having a hard week, something happens, whatever, I don't care, you don't even have to tell me, 5 are automatically dropped. So you just plan accordingly. The supplies, go see booklist.byu.edu. You are automatically enrolled in the inclusive access to the digital materials. So you'll get the textbook, it's an ebook, and you'll get access to Mastering Biology, which we use a lot. It's really helpful and I give it to you. But it's not required, it's strongly recommended. And that's why we do it this way, because it's super cheap, $66 for everything. But I'll talk to you more in class about this, but you can opt out of this and not pay for it. And you do that under the red shelf link on Canvas, which I'll show you. And then you do need a copy of your Inner Fish. You can get it used for pretty cheap. And then you need a copy of the lab packet that you will be taking with you to lab each week. And that's also very inexpensive. So hopefully you can get all the supplies for this class. Come talk to me if you have any issues and we will talk it through. Okay, now I'm going to give you a brief overview of Canvas. So we're using Canvas instead of Learning Suite. To access Canvas, you're going to go to byu.instructure.com up here, and then this course will pop up for you, Bio 130. I've grouped the sections by the lecture day. So 6 and 7 are together, they attend lecture on Wednesday. 8 and 9 are together, they attend lecture on Friday. And 10 and 13 are together, they attend lecture on Monday. I'm in instructor view, so I have access to everything, but yours will look very similar. You'll notice the very first thing you probably should go through is the syllabus, and we'll go through it in class to make sure everybody understands, but it's all the information for the course, the grading scheme, the classroom procedures, etc. that I just went through already. Always click the home. You can also click modules. It'll take you to the same place, so home or modules. And this will take you back to this running screen for the class. This top module is all the course information, and I would strongly encourage you to look at every single thing in here. So the learning outcomes right here, they're still a work in progress because this class is a work in progress, but I've gotten the first 4 weeks done. And so you can see this is everything you're expected to be able to do after you've completed all the activities for the week. And so for instance, here it says, determine atomic number of a molecule using the periodic table. Now notice I want you to pay attention to the verbs in these, okay? You might look at this and say, oh, I just need to know what atomic structure is. No, or the periodic table. No, this means that you should determine atomic number using the periodic table, right? Or predict atomic structure based on weight and vice versa. So it's more application based than just knowing the definitions. Anyway, so this is provided if you're ever wondering what you should study for the test. It is all here, and I will keep updating it as I continue throughout the course, planning the course. Like I said, this is new for everyone, and so we are just one step ahead of you guys. The schedule, every section will have a different schedule, but it will tell you when everything is due, when it opens, when it closes. So these are pre-class, when the pre-class opens, when it closes, when the post-class opens, when it closes, what textbook chapters you can read to supplement your learning for that week. And then we will do our Inner Fish assignments, and I'll explain more of these in class. And then these are when the exams are, so pay attention and get them on your calendar. They will be online, open book, open note, on Canvas, so you won't ever have to go to the testing center. Yay! All right, so that's the schedule. Notice I'm clicking home every time. This is the class setup, so that's the picture I just showed you before about our class setup. This is TA bios and office hours, so they will be holding their office hours, any reviews, those will all be posted here, so you want to pay attention to that if you need to go see a TA, mine as well. This, like I said, is where you would opt out of the ebook if you don't want it. So that link is there for you. I strongly recommend it, though. It's a great resource, and I'll show you why. Campus Wire. So I'm trying to get us connected in the class, even though we're hardly ever going to see each other. And so I have created a Campus Wire class feed. If you click on this link, it will take you to the class feed. But you have to click on this one first and use the join code to get enrolled. But I'm going to show you what Campus Wire looks like. It's kind of like, well, I want to say it's kind of like Facebook, but I don't do Facebook or any of these, so I don't really know. But I've been told it's sort of like Facebook. It's a feed that you can talk to each other, and it'll tell you who's online. So anytime anybody gets on Campus Wire, it'll pop up here. So if you're working on your homework and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't get this, You could jump onto Campus Wire and see who else is online, and you could direct message them from right here, or you can just post a general post. So you can just click on here, create a post, and say, hey, I'm working on day 2, practicing the nature of science, and I don't understand. Has anyone else been struggling with this? When you create a post, it'll ask you, what is it about? Is it about the pre-class activities, the in-class stuff, the post-class, quizzes, exams, interfish, labs, etc.? And so when you post it, people can come find it, and then they can talk to you. TAs can talk to you. I can talk to you. You can go into individual chat rooms by your lab section. So I'm going to set those up and put you in them so you can chat with people that are just in your lab. But class feed, this is what we're looking for. And just feel free to just talk up a storm. And like I said, what I thought was the neatest thing about this program, it's free for you guys, is that it tells you who's online actively working on it right now. And so you can grab people and say help when they're there. So that's your Campus Wire class feed. This is my frequently asked questions. Feel free to read through that if you have any issues or questions. I would check there first before you email me. Okay, and so this is what each week looks like. So here's week 1. So your pre-class activities, they're usually in little small parts. I've kind of borrowed these from all over the place, so they're sort of just in parts because they're in parts, because it's too hard to remake them all into one thing, and I've pulled them for lots of different classes. And anyway, so you're going to you are going to complete whatever it is for pre-class. So pre-class in this case has 2 parts: testing termites and clarifying the nature of science. You'll want to complete these before you come to lecture. Those of you who are a Monday, you're not going to have time to complete these before lecture this first week. But normally, you will do that in the latter part of the week in preparation for the next Monday lecture. So everybody completes these before lecture, and then you complete these after lecture. And I'll just show you what one of them looks like, so like clarifying the nature of science. It's a quiz. So I know it says a quiz, but you can open and close it as many times as you want. But once you submit it, it's submitted. So don't submit it till you're ready. But you're just going to read through and answer questions. Sometimes they don't have a question, they're just explaining, and then they'll have little videos or tutorials embedded, and you'll type in your answer. Don't type that, obviously, because TAs will be looking at them. But they have little videos and they have tutorials, etc. And like I said, don't submit it until you're ready. I would save your answers in a Word document, like copy and paste, just in case. It's supposed to save your answers, but if you're jumping around from computer to computer, I don't know. I just don't trust it. So I would save my answers somewhere else, and then when you're ready to submit it, you're just going to push submit. All right, so, and you can work with neighbors on this, with parents on this, with roommates on this, with the TAs, with me. I don't care. It's just your learning experience. It's supposed to take place the place of a lecture, and so it's not a quiz. Even though it's called a quiz, it is not a quiz. You should work together. You should work with people, look things up on the internet, whatever. Everything is fair game for all of the pre-class and post-class. The only things that I'm asking you to not work with neighbors and not look things up on the internet is when you take the exams. But every week is up there. Like some of them have multiple things. Like if you're reviewing a lab, some of them like have lots of things because they're just in little weird parts. And so there's more. Obviously I have to do some editing on some of them. And I've only gotten to Unit 1. So we will start populating those as we get closer to that. But that's what Canvas looks like. It's pretty straightforward, and everything that you need should be there. Okay, I think that's it for now. So this, again, is just a supplement in case you missed the first day of class. We'll go through this in class, and you can ask questions. But please come see me. Come see me on Zoom. We are all around. I'm on campus, even though it's going to be sort of a ghost town. But I'm there. Hopefully we stay in session and everyone is safe. Please wear your masks and do what you're supposed to do so that you can keep BYU running. I'm really excited to meet all of you. I'm excited for you to have a Bio in 30 experience, the best that we can make in these times. So I will see you in class soon.